Hey all, Bree from the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I have got a gift for you this holiday season. If you love the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I mean love the No Guilt Mom podcast, then tell us about it. Leave us a review, and you can be entered to win a No Guilt Mom gift card. All you have to do is leave a review, take a screenshot, and then simply go to noguiltmom.com/review to enter our giveaway for a free No Guilt Mom gift card, simply for telling us what you think about the podcast. It is amazing. But don't delay. Get right on this, as we're going to be giving away that No Guilt Mom gift card on December 21st. So get right on over and visit noguiltmom.com/review.
Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. I am your host, Joanne Crone, joined here by my spunky co-host, Bree Tucker.
Well, hello, buddies. How are you?
Spunky. We have a fabulous guest for you today. Her name is Einat Nathan, and she is a parenting expert, counselor, and author. Her first book, published in 2018, was a bestseller of the year in Israel, and it made her a national celebrity. And the book resonated because mothers read it, cried, and smiled, and discovered a way to look at their children as independent people, not solely as an extension of who they are or as a calling card. And the book is called My Everything. It's being translated into several languages, including English, which we read, and it's phenomenal. Einat helps parents with a fresh approach to parenting, is the parent to 5 teenagers, and lives in Tel Aviv, Israel. We hope you enjoy our conversation with Einat. If you want to give your kids help making and being a better friend, guys, my book's out. Me and My Friendships is now available on Amazon. It is a book for kids ages 6 through 9. And through it, I lead them through activities. They take fun quizzes and they learn all the things I wish I would have known when I was their age about friendships. So you can get it right now on Amazon or wherever books are sold. And we have put a link for you in the show notes. And now, on with the show.
You want mom life to be easier. That's our goal too. Our mission is to raise more self-sufficient and independent kids, and we're going to have fun doing it. We're going to help you delegate and step back. Each episode will tackle strategies for positive discipline, making our kids more responsible and making our lives better in the process. Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast.
Welcome, Einat, to the No Guilt Mom podcast. We're so happy to have you here.
I'm so excited. Thank you for inviting me.
And we are on totally different time schedules right now. We're here morning in the U.S. and you're, 7 p.m. right now in Israel?
Yeah, I can tell you from the future, it's going to be a wonderful day.
It's going to I love
Yeah.
That
that.
is an amazing perspective. We are traveling. We are dealing with a time traveler right now.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful day. Trust me.
Yay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's something to look forward to today then. For our listeners who don't know about you, can you tell us a little bit about you and what you do?
Oh, wow. So I'll start by saying that I'm married to Yuval, and I'm a mother of Eyal, which is 21, Yoavi 19, Lihi 16, Rona 13, and Shira 8. I have 5 children, and I have been a parenting expert for the last 19 years. And I have written 2 books in Hebrew, and the first one is the one that we're talking about.
Yeah, which was an amazing book.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I have a secret to share.
Okay.
There is this thing when a book comes out, especially when it's a huge success, and it was a huge success here in Israel, that you always wonder if it can cross the ocean, if it can reach people's hearts, and make the same network effect or the same magic that it has made here. And I'm still in the part of not knowing. So everyone that gives me a positive feedback is like such a ray of light in my universe. It's like, oh my God, it's working.
Yeah. It translates literally. No, we loved the books. So in translation here, it's My Everything. How do you say the title in your original?
I love it that you asked. Okay, the title in Israel is called, okay, that's going to be a weird word that I won't ask you to pronounce it, Haimsheli, which is an emotional expression that is only in Hebrew, that is said between two loved ones. And it means my light, my soul, my life, my everything. Like it has this huge context of my life. And we had to choose only one because you can't imagine a cover of a book with all these, So we went for My Everything. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I love that.
So while I was reading the book, I was really curious about the differences in parenting between Israel and the US. Like, for example, here in the US, we have a lot of guilt associated with motherhood. Like, we feel like we should be a certain way, our kids should be really well behaved. And it's this constant figuring out, are we doing enough as parents? That's something that we hear a lot.
And
Am I
always
enough?
feeling judged.
And
Always
feeling
feeling
judged.
we feel like everybody is looking at us going, if our kid has a tantrum in the store, they're going, oh, that lady, she can't parent.
Yeah. Is it like that in Israel or is it different?
I think that in a way it's universal. I think that we're living in an age which is, I don't have a light word for it. It's horrible for parents, really.
It is. There's so much that we have access to that makes us feel less than.
Horrible. And all the mirrors reflecting around us, if it's social media or if it's other moms or if it's just this cultural idea of quote unquote, what is a good parent, or how our children are supposed to reflect our greatness or to serve our ego or to be there as our calling card, our business card, our social media profile. And it's exhausting, isn't it?
Totally exhausting.
By the way, I'm the mom in the supermarket that if I see this child and this mom with a tantrum, I just go, thumbs up. You go, girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yes.
Yeah.
We need more cheerleaders.
Good job. Good job. I'm here with you. It's like, so I think that in Israel, we have this, do you know the word chutzpah?
I've heard it, but I could not tell you the definition.
Same.
I think it's, we give more legitimacy to being sassy.
Oh, okay.
Or to speak out.
Ooh, I like this.
If you think about it, I'm trying to think as we speak, because we're raising children that at the age of 18 would join the army, there is this piece of, something that we carry with us that we want our children to have like their self, to speak out, not to let anyone tell them to do something that they are not comfortable with. And speaking about the army, over here, the social field, how popular your kid is such a huge thing.
Really?
Yeah, because again, it's me psychoanalyzing it, but again, it means they will go at the far end to fight with people. They will need to be a part of a unit. They will need their friends to watch their back.
Okay.
So I think that Israeli parents are much more focused on how popular or how many friends their kids have than as opposed to American parents on success.
That is so interesting. So what I'm hearing you saying is because of this guaranteed entrance into the army, is it at 18?
Yeah, 18 or 19. It depends whenever they finish high school. But This is the edge.
So that social skills are really paramount and how popular they are, as well as speaking your mind. And the speaking your mind part in particular is really interesting to me because here in America, we have like gender norms here where boys are encouraged to speak their mind. And while for girls, it is getting better, it is, but they're more likely to have the label as bossy rather than seeing that as a really positive trait.
Yeah. Yeah. Haven't we suffered from this?
Right?
Yes.
Yes, very much.
And I think it's changing. And I think it's positive.
I think it is changing.
Still a lot of room for us to grow, but
Yes.
we are very excited to see the movement that's been happening at more of speaking your mind, being an independent thinker, but also at the same time being compassionate for others.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Aubrey here, and I wanted to share one of my favorite gifts to give during the holiday season, a Storyworth book. It is the most amazing gift ever. Storyworth is an online service that lets you create a special and unique gift of someone's story. I've given Storyworth books to both of my parents, and it has been their favorite gift, hands down. And did I mention it is so easy? Storyworth emailed my parents questions every week that I handpicked from their massive list of questions that they have. All my parents had to do was open their email and answer them. That easy. I asked my dad questions like, did you have any rules that you set for yourself as a parent, which you immediately broke? And he did. I even asked both of my parents, are you more like your mom or your dad? And they shared a lot of really amazing qualities that I didn't know about my grandparents at the time. Then at the end of the year, Storyworth compiles all of their answers, puts them into this gorgeous book that covers everything. My parents love showing us their books, and I personally love getting a chance to read them. With Storyworth, I am giving those I love a thoughtful and personal gift from the heart that preserves their memories and stories for years to come. Go to storyworth.com/NGM and save $10 on your first purchase. That's storyworth.com/NGM to save $10 on your first purchase.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. It is so hard to raise kids who know how to manage money. Bree, right now, my kids are all about earning money for presents. My daughter wants to get presents for all of her friends, and my son is doing a Secret Santa with his friends.
Oh, I hear you. And if you're looking to raise kids that are financially responsible, we have got a lifesaver recommendation for you that you need to check out. It is Greenlight. Greenlight is a debit card and money app made for families that gives kids and teens an easy and fun way to gain financial literacy, all while giving parents peace of mind.
You can send instant money transfers, automate allowance, and even keep an eye on kids' spending with real-time notifications. Meanwhile, your kids can begin their journey towards financial autonomy by learning how to save, invest, and spend wisely.
So sign up for Greenlight today and get your first month free when you go to greenlight.com/NGM.
That's greenlight.com/NGM to try Greenlight for free. Greenlight.com/NGM.
I always tell parents that they should encourage their boys to cry.
Yes.
Yes.
Please, like, cry as many years as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And their girls to speak up.
Mm-hmm.
Because our job is mainly, to balance the imbalances of culture or society or values even.
I love that. Girls need to speak up and boys need to show their emotions. I have an 8-year-old too, an 8-year-old boy, and emotions are huge in our house. And I think we'd all have a better world if more guys were in touch with their emotions and how to communicate them.
I do have one question about your story. So you talked about how you've been a parenting expert for 19 years. And both of us being in the parenting field, I kind of fell into it. My degree is in psychology, and I've been working in the parenting field ever since I graduated college, but that was not what I intended to. So, and then Joanne, like you started in entertainment.
Yeah, entertainment, and then a teacher, and then, yeah.
And then it's just, so I'm curious, what was your path? How did you, I mean, I think it's very rare for those of us to say at a young age or in high school or even in college, I think I want to be a parenting expert.
Yeah.
So how did you end up doing this?
It wasn't my thing. Yeah. It's an amazing question. So I was an overachiever. I was the perfect firstborn girl that we can talk about the prices, next time. But When I admitted to the university, I went for medicine, psychology, and law.
Oh, wow.
And I got accepted to 3 of them. And I went to law school because it was the nearest university to where I lived. And when I finished the whole process, because I was growing up when LA Law was on.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm so going to save the world. I'm going to help people. And when I finished and I started working, I understood that it's about being in a fight with someone
Right.
more than saving people. And I called my best friend who was a psychologist. And I told him, Danny, I made a mistake. Should I go and study? Because it's a long journey, you know. And he told me, you know what? You've always dreamt on being a mom. Just go and learn that. Wherever it takes you, you'll be a good mom. So I went to learn that before I became a mom, but my biggest dream was becoming a mom. And for me, it was just taking a break from the mistake that I've made and just turning down the volume of I don't need to please anyone anymore. By the way, my brother went to medical school. He never finished. He finished 6 years, and I went to law school. And I think that my grandmother, up until her last day, always asked us, how is in the office? And him, how is in the hospital? And we just said, amazing, great.
Oh.
We never told her that we quit.
I think that that's true. Like, I know that with my grandparents, they constantly were like wanting to hear like our, I don't know how to put it.
Yeah, our achievements.
Yeah. And sometimes our achievements aren't as noticeable or not as noticeable, but they're just defined in a different way, right? For our generation.
Yeah, they have a different book. Yeah.
Than it was for the generation before it.
Yeah, they do. It's funny because, you'll get questions about like being a parenting expert, and older generations are still like, wait, what do you do? Like,
oh, that's a fun hobby.
That's fun.
Yeah. And why do parents need that? Don't they know what to do?
I know.
Right. Nobody told me how to parent, and I was able to keep you in line by locking you in the closet. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'm joking.
But this is the energy coming from the generation of, the parents that we had.
And I think it's kind of hard too for like the current parenting generation to then go and seek out parenting help and advice because they're being told by the older generation that they don't need it or you get the passive aggressiveness. I don't know if you all get this, but on my end.
Of course we do.
Oh yeah. I would always hear like, well, I don't know how I raised so-and-so because I didn't have all those fancy classes like you do. And I'm like, wow, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the passive aggressiveness. Appreciate it.
Yeah. It's usually from my husband's mother.
Oh no. I was not saying that, but that's the same general direction.
I live in Israel. I can talk about her. But by the way, it was a different time.
Mm-hmm. It was.
They were different parents.
Exactly.
And their societal expectations were different, right?
Totally different. It was much easier to be a parent for our parents than it is for us. And it's much harder. And I see young parents every day. Mm-hmm. It's getting harder. Mm-hmm. It's getting harder because now there is this new generation that was taught, to think about themselves and was kind of spoiled in a way that parenting is so hard for them. And it's heartbreaking for me because I always look at it in an anthropologian way. Is that a word in English?
It is.
Okay. It makes me curious. It makes me want to dive into their fantasy and their expectations. And it's always so far out. So the shattering of the fantasy is much more difficult than, we just had a hard time, we were tired.
So what are some things that you want like new parents to know now?
Do you have 5 hours?
Sure.
What's one thing that I know there's a lot.
I think that the most important thing is to know that, first of all, you are the best option for your child. You are born the best parent for your child, the best that could be.
Mm-hmm.
And just by welcoming their presence with your happiness and accepting them for who they are and creating this safe space of terms and conditions for them to be authentic, to be playful, to rest, and to have a joyful experience in connecting with you just by investing in their relationship. This is the job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nature will take care of everything else. Our kids want to succeed. Our kids want to belong. They want to feel significant. They want to be good in our eyes. Our job is not to reprimand them or to correct them. Our job is to accept them for who they are. I think Banksy said this sentence. I loved it. We are willing to do everything for our children, really everything, except to accept them for who they are.
That's a powerful statement. And I can see that. Like what I'm hearing you say is that first, our own happiness is very important and that we don't need to feel the need to control all of our kids' behavior, rather than to see who they are, accept them for who they are, and just improve our relationship with them.
That's it. Seriously, that's it.
We're hitting that time of year where my brain gets so overloaded in December that I look for anything to make life easier. And I have to say, Brie, that Green Chef is one of those services.
Yes, Green Chef is there to take away the dreaded, oh my goodness, what are we going to eat for dinner tonight? You can eat clean all holiday long with over 80 weekly meal options each week, featuring things like quick and easy, protein-packed, calorie-smart, or my personal favorite, the keto options.
And you don't have to lose track of healthy eating habits during the holidays, because every Green Chef customer gets a free session with one of their registered dietitians who can walk you through how to make clean eating work for you, which is very cool.
And I have to say that I have been loving their recipes lately. They put things together I have never thought of. This week, we're trying the lemon basil caper pork with sauteed cauliflower, bell peppers, almonds, and feta cheese, my favorite. Their recipes make it so easy to support my wellness goals without skipping on flavor.
For Green Chef's best deal of the year, get $250 off with code NGM250 at greenchef.com/NGM250. That's greenchef.com/NGM250. And don't forget to use that code NGM250 to get $250 off.
Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.
My son is playing a game right now on his computer where he's a thief and the cops are after him. So I'm so excited about this new app, Give As We Grow, where instead of being the quote unquote bad guys, kids are practicing giving back.
That is so cool, Joanne. I really wish that there was something like this when my kids were younger that got them excited about giving back to others and helped them build a better understanding of what it really means to volunteer.
Give As We Grow is the first of its kind free educational mobile app for children ages 8 to 11 that teaches kids via fun, service-focused minigame quests to tap into their unique talents and interests to help others.
And did you know that studies show that there is a biological connection between generosity and happiness, and that volunteering improves people's physical and mental health? I mean, kids who volunteer typically do better in school and are less likely to engage in risky behaviors. And that is something that I think we all want for our kids.
Ready to spark a new movement in generosity? Find and download Give As We Grow for free in the App Store for Android and iOS. And for resources for the whole family, visit giveaswegrow.org. And it's hard sometimes as a parent.
It's very hard. Yeah.
And especially when you deal with all those societal pressures of like being super mom. And like today with social media, with the new generation of parents, they're seeing these perfectly placed pictures of beautifully dressed children and happy families all the time. And so that a lot of people, I think, feel like when they hit the hard parts that it's not supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
And they judge themselves based on that.
You know, I'll tell you a short story. I had a long journey becoming a mom. I always dreamed on being a mom, and I've been pregnant 13 times and I have 5 children. And before we gave birth to our firstborn, we went through 2 pregnancies. The first one, we had to stop it because there was a defect in our baby girl. And the second, I got pregnant on the second time with twins, and I had a stillbirth at the end of the pregnancy at week 39. And, you know, Eyal, which is our firstborn, was such a gift. Mm-hmm. And you can imagine the expectations mm-hmm. that were put on this poor child.
Yeah.
And anyone that knows me for a short time or for a long time, really, if there's something clear you can say about me, that is that I'm all about communication. I love talking to people and listening to people. I get nuances. This is who I am. This is the most important thing, you know, in my life. And sure enough, at the age of 2.5, Eyal is diagnosed with autism. Like my firstborn, in the most important thing for me is lacking, is, you know, struggling. And it was such a gift. And I'm not talking about, not just about children with special needs, because every child has special needs, but the lesson that it taught me, that I have to let go of him, you know, representing me in order for me to be the mom that he needs. Mm-hmm. I had to let go of that pain point, and we all carry that. But he was such a good training camp, and I practiced it with all of my other 4 children. And, you know, when I say our children are not our business card, they are eventually, you know, they are eventually. But if we don't take this luggage with us, educating, if we don't carry that fantasy, because that fantasy creates so much noise, you know, if I'm dealing with a day-to-day interaction with any one of my children, and I'm carrying the voice of how it was supposed to be, what kind of mother I was supposed to be, what kind of child he was supposed to be. Like, how am I supposed to evacuate him from the playground if I'm carrying all that noise? And what would people say about me? And, you know, what's wrong with this picture? And et cetera, et cetera. So just by letting this go and focusing on what we're supposed to do, it makes the job so much easier.
That is powerful advice, because yeah, when we carry around what our perceptions of what we think our kids should be, in addition to the very, very full-time job of parenting, it becomes too much for us.
Well, and I think it's also important to note that it's always a learning process, right? Like,
yeah.
We were just talking this morning. I ran into a parenting issue last night where I had to like text my friends and be like, okay, guys, this happened. And I'm second guessing myself on whether or not I did this right.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing that people have to understand, that even those of us that do this professionally, we still question ourselves. We still have moments where we're like, I think
every day
I'm doing the right thing. And that's all it is about parenting.
Yeah.
There's never a guarantee that whatever choice you make is going to be the exact right one. So letting go of all that expectations and judging.
There's no exact right one.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. All you can do is follow your gut and your heart and try to learn as many tools as you can, right? To help give your child those skills that you want to see them have as an adult.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think you also need to be aware, our children are the best psychotherapy treatment that we could have.
They are. There are mirrors.
So
Definitely.
it's such a journey, for things we carry from our childhood, from our autopilots, just thinking, oh my God, why did I say this right now? Why is my mother's sentences coming out of my mouth right now?
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah, I get that.
And diving into that and just being able to say, okay, this needs to be separated. This is me and my childhood experiences. I'm reacting to this right now because for me, not being heard or not being seen as a child was such a horrible experience that I'm putting it all on, a 5-year-old that is just busy. And the fact that I've called him 1,000 times for dinner and he didn't answer is not personal. It's not against me.
No.
Yeah.
Right. That's the big thing. It's not personal.
It's totally not personal. Well, Einat, what do you have going on right now that you're really excited about?
My second book here.
Oh.
Yeah. So my second book here, it was out a month ago. It's already in the top best-selling list. It's about teenagers, and I'm in love with teenagers because we don't talk about them enough, and they're so misunderstood. So I gave them a good voice. And I think that just this book coming out in English, it's going to come out this year in 11 more languages. Just the excitement and my prayers. I think there's a hole in the sky just from my prayers.
Oh, wow.
Just wishing that it would reach the hands of parents. This is it.
That is exciting. I am excited for it to get translated so we could read it.
Yes. Yeah. And we would love to have you back when that happens.
Yes.
I would love for it to happen.
Yes.
Your book is amazing. Highly, highly suggest it to our audience. You definitely have to check out My Everything.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Definitely. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thanks for taking time this evening.
It went too fast. It went by too fast.
Too fast.
Thank you for your warm voice soon. And your smiles and your open heart. It was such a warm experience for me. And here I go. I'm crying.
Oh.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. It's been a joy talking to you.
Thank you.
So talking with Einat, first of all, she is such a joy. Like for everything, she was just wonderful and gracious and just delightful.
She was so easy to talk to. She was one of those people that honestly, a conversation could have gone on with her forever.
She's one of those people I run out of happy synonyms to like describe like how wonderful her conversation was.
I know. And honestly, like I loved her book, My Everything. Like first of all, for someone like Bree that is, I love books, but I'll admit, like I take forever to get through them. Because I just get distracted a lot. And then I get down on myself when I can't get through things. I love that her book had so many short chapters. It was so easy to get through them. And I felt like even after that first chapter, which was only a few pages, I knew her so deeply because she starts at the beginning of her parenting story and talks about her rainbow babies, her miscarriages, and then the birth of her first child and all the things that happened there. Like it was really, really just eye-opening.
And the amount of trauma that she had to go through to become a parent too. With the stillbirth of twins and it was a hard road,
but she's found so many amazing.
She's found a lot of takeaways, and now she helps other parents navigate parenthood as well.
Yes, and she so follows our No Guilt Mom mindset. I loved it. I love it.
Go find My Everything. It is an amazing book that will uplift you. And until next time, best mom's a happy mom. Take care of you.
Thanks so much for stopping by. Are you looking for something to listen to with your whole family? Then check out 6 Minutes, produced and created by Gen Z Media. With over 200 twisty, cliffhanger-filled episodes, 6 Minutes tells the story of 11-year-old Holiday who is pulled from the icy waters with no memory of who she is or where she came from.
3 years ago, Brinley Pasternak helped the Anders family uncover the truth about Holiday's past. Now she'll need them to help her find the truth about hers. In 6 Minutes Out of Time, the long-awaited sequel, Cyrus Anders is found unconscious near the mysterious Elixir Academy in Florida, and Brinley learns the school may have a shocking connection to her missing mother.
Dive in now and get the most downloaded family audio adventure in history. Follow 6 Minutes wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen early and ad-free with the GZM family subscription.